Hello everybody, welcome back. Money Mom here. Today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 things I don't go cheap on. And number 5 is going to be something that I have a feeling that some of you will really disagree and might be hitting the dislike button. But guess what? Each of us do things differently, and that's okay. Let me get started. Number 1, the one thing that I do not go cheap on for me is shoes. I don't buy them very often. I don't have very many pair. But, and for my family too, by the way, for none of us, I have a high instep, so I can't just wear any shoe. I do get good shoes. One of the places that I get them is either Merrell's, or I also get them at San Antonio Shoes. Some of them are not the most attractive, but they're very comfortable. They last me, because I take good care of them, they last me a good 3 to 4 years. So I get good value out of them, and like I said, I don't have very many. So I do not buy cheap shoes or walk around with really flat flip-flops. They're just not good for my feet or my balance, so that's one thing I don't cheap out on. Okay, number 2, another thing I do not cheap out on is internet. I work from home. I have the highest, fastest internet because I cannot have a slower internet, so I do not cheap out on my internet. I have the best package that I can get because I have to work from home and have decent internet because that is what is expected. Okay, if I want to have a job, that is. Okay, also, another thing I don't cheap out on. I'm from Minnesota originally. I'm used to a really cold climate. So, number 3 that I don't cheap out on is air conditioning. I do keep it at 78, 77, which some people think is really cold. A lot of people that really cheap out will keep it on 80 when it's really hot out. I don't like to be hot. I don't mind being cold, which is strange. So if it's 30 degrees outside, I can keep the heat on 65 and wear a sweater and I'm fine. But I don't like to be really hot. And since I'm moving around and I'm hyper and I'm moving and I'm working, I just can't stand to be really hot. So I don't cheap out on air conditioning. Okay, one weird thing I don't cheap out on, and this will probably not be on anyone's list, is toothpaste. I have some different brands of toothpaste that I like that have essential oil in them, and one has cloves, and I just love it. It is more expensive, but it takes me a long time to go through a tube, and I really like it. So I'm buying what I really like and use rather than buy a bunch of cheap stuff that just sits in the cupboard. So that is more important to me, to buy something of value that I'm going to use, and takes, like I said, and it also is concentrated, so it takes me a long time to use it. The last, and number 5, and this is where I'm going to probably get some of you shaking your head saying, I'm not watching this channel anymore. I do not cheap out on a car. Now, does that mean I get some luxury car? No. We buy Toyotas. The last 2 cars have been Toyotas. We've purchased them new, and we keep them, we run them into the ground. We're planning on keeping this Toyota about 14 years. So what I'm planning on doing though is once I'm done paying our car payment, which is only $250, I plan on setting that money aside so I can mostly pay cash for the next car. The reason why I don't like used cars, we've had a couple of them, that we are always at the shop getting things fixed. We don't know how to fix things ourselves. We live in the DFW area. As you know, in the summer it is very warm, okay? And it is the worst when it's over 100 degrees outside, something goes wrong with your car and you don't know what it is, and you're on the side of the road in heat, and then you've got to wait for a friend to come help you out. And I'm going to tell you something, I like having a dependable car in a big city with a lot of traffic, and it's really, really hot 6 months out of the year here. So I do not cheap out on a car. We buy a new Toyota and we keep it a long, long time. I'm really hoping, like I said, I'll be able to keep this one at least 12 years if we take good care of it. So that I know is going to be very different than many of you frugal people out there, and that's okay. I would love to hear what you do not cheap out on, and I'd love to hear your tidbits. By the way, I'm almost at 200 subscribers. I've got a really fantastic giveaway for all of you. Tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about the 5 things I do cheap out on. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.